This is TransAfricaRadio.
When I heard the song, I don't think I could conceptualize what it meant or the strength of the song. I just knew that this song does something. It does something, and whatever it is, I like it. I like where I'm going with it. And only later years, when after the death of my grandfather, and I heard the song again, I was like, now it even has a deeper layer. Because now I can listen to it, and it's not from Burnout, which is the iconic song, and to Tabusi, they're so different. They're so different. But again, the magic endures.
So different.
Yes.
The centrality of inventiveness becomes
Yes.
It becomes more critical, that one takes oneself beyond just the comfort.
Yes.
But I also, because I could relate to Basotho, the humility, the warmth, that how they actually played a very, very important part. Irrespective of how landlocked that country was, it gave our people refuge.
Yes, it did.
And we cannot say that Basotho never made a contribution to our struggle. There was a lot more sacrifice from Basothos than a lot of people imagine.
And I think then we give them enough credit for.
Yeah, and it's not only, what we should also remember, it's not only about giving refuge to our exiles, but the economy. Basothos came and worked in these mines.
Exactly.
They came and worked in these mines. Some of them even died without even being recognized for the work and the contribution that they made for the economy of this country. That is why, for me, there's this affinity. And this song came as a result of this affinity.
Talk to me about Jive Soweto. A song when played,
wow.
I could see on your face it lit up.
Jive Soweto is a very special song because it came at a moment. In fact, I was in England.
Yes.
I was in England with Harari.
Okay.
We were going to the United States because we had just signed a recording deal. So on our trip, we went into a club where Joe Jackson, a very big Canadian star, was performing at a venue. And there was this support act. British, white. They sounded like South African background group.
How?
I mean, it was like, what is this?
Who are you?
These guys sounded almost like the Mahotella Queens. They sounded like I thought, no, when I go back home, this is one of the things that I'm really looking forward to. I need to reinvent, I need to review, I need to look at who are we.
Yes.
If we go to England and we hear ourselves from others, and we have not even imagined that we are the others.
We are the others.
Wow.
I live for it. I live for it. I live for those breakaway moments when the music is playing and I see how you react to it. Because for me, it just offers a small window into the experience of what it must have been like throughout these decades, for you to create.
And it's stuck in my mind that whatever happens, I have to go that route.
And Jive Soweto was born.
Jive Soweto came up. And it even went up to number 1 on Capital Radio in the UK.
Capital Radio.
Capital Radio in the UK.
You see, it's like not these Billboard 100s we're hearing today. These billboards of Nicki Minaj. I think, but for me, the central topic of us having you here today was also to just tap into the knowledge for someone who's been in the industry for this wonderful career, to maybe leave us with a few gems as to how apart from the strength of the evolution and wanting to invent and constantly creating with evolution as a central point, what would you say is the gems of staying power, which I think there's no one on the face of the earth who would dispute that you have mastered the art of staying power? Because 5 decades.
There's quite a number of us.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the maybe one would actually look at my own surroundings.
Yeah.
probably would have been very difficult in South Africa.
Yeah.
How I made it, it's still a marvel for me. But I'm always, I had been privileged in a way. I had been privileged to have worked with some fantastic people. Suddenly when people were saying it's 50 years, and I think, indeed it is.
Yes.
50 years, that's almost a human being's life.
It's a diamond jubilee.
But we are talking about a career here.
Yes.
Of music.
I think to encapsulate it into words it would defy logic. I think the only word we can use for it is magic. I think so too. I think whatever happened on that day in 1951 when you were born, I reiterate, I think lightning must have struck, the stars must have aligned. Where can we find you haven't stopped. 50 years means nothing to you as far as stopping is concerned.
I felt any need for me to think, wow, unless I get reminded, it's only but time.
Yes.
If time moves, we also must move.
Yes.
Move with time and try and be. We brought here for a purpose, and that purpose is not ours. We're the conduit for that purpose
to flow through,
and it will come and it will stop. It will end only when God says, "Yes, time up."
I sincerely hope he doesn't say that for a very, very, very long time. Where can we find you? Where can we see you performing? You're still performing? I
still perform a lot.
I think that the best place to go, because going through the entire list, I think would be quite difficult. But on hotstix.co.za,
yes,
you can find all. The first page you open up will give you all the details of where he's performing, and you also can get all the wonderful stories and all the illustrious biography.
Well, I think after this 50 years, I've elected to actually write my memoirs. I think I should.
You see, up Hot Stix, what I do is that with select guests, I leave and say, you need to write a book. And I've been toying with the idea of saying that to you because I think a lot of the magic would be lost without you telling it.
Yeah.
And I sincerely hope that it must have an audio version. It must. I think the accuracy and the tone and the experience of Hot Stix Mabuse for me is as important as the story, as the facts of what happened. Yeah. And in your case, I would say not only to write your memoirs, but to record your memoirs. Yeah. I'd like to hear and feel them just as I felt them, because I think the magic in your music has always come from the fact that it has a weird transcendence. It's a creature of its own, and I was saying to you off air that I was with Bob Joe Mafela yesterday, and I'm with you today. Clearly something's going to happen tonight. I'm going to win the lotto. Waiting for 7:30. But I think the experience of Hot Stix Mabuse is just as important as the facts. So I would plead with you to, if you do write your memoirs, which I think you sincerely should, that you record them. Because I think I want my niece and my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren to understand the magnitude of the person that is. Because for me, the biggest loss is that we got to read about the long walk to freedom. We never got to hear the long walk to freedom.
We never got to hear
from the words of the man himself. And I think that your iconic status is eclipsed by none.
When he said, I have cherish the ideal of a free and democratic society. Those words ring all the time.
Absolutely.
Only if he had told, he's spoken even more about the freedom, as you rightly say, he could have recorded all that too. And
experience it. I think when we have a promo that we run on the show about xenophobia, and it's a very wonderful excerpt from Ubab Thabo Mbeki's I'm an African. Yes. And I promise you that it makes, I get goosebumps every time I think about it. And for me, that is a universal truth. Yes. When you experience goosebumps, it is the world and the Lord saying to you that this is a universal truth.
Right.
And I haven't stopped getting shivers through the entire hour, and I've held you back for 5 more minutes. But I thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
This has been an absolute experience, and I'm so glad we podcast these things because I can listen to it tomorrow and I'm calm and in my element. But I think you have reminded us of what a wonderful talent we have in this country before even we had the hardships of apartheid and through all of that. And I must ask you one golden question.
We were always oblivious of it.
Yes.
It did not take that power from us. The power did not come from them.
We always had it.
We had it.
One last question, Bob, and I can let you go.
Okay.
We at TransAfrica Radio, we play 100% African music. Only African music, nothing else. As a prolific icon of the 21st century, what does that mean to you?
What more can we ask for as Africans? That recognition by yourselves is a testament that there are people who love what we do, and we appreciate it greatly, and we can only wish you the best of everything that this TransAfrica Radio Net does. Who else should, if you call yourself TransAfrica, who else should do it? Thank you so much. It means more than it's not just a statement, there's meaning to it, because unless we recognize ourselves, who we are, through yourselves, who else will?
I can't wait for those memoirs. I really can't. And in ushering Ubab Hot Stix Mabuse out, this is a track that I know Ujabun Tanzi is listening out for. So here you go, Mom. This is the iconic Burnout by Mabuse.
You can dance if you want to.
Oh, she's going to lose her mind. It is Sipho Hot Stix Mabuse, my hashtag man talk guest, an icon of the 21st century, a giant of South African music, and someone who I've wanted to speak to for my entire existence, and I'm so glad that I had the opportunity for an hour long and a little bit longer than that to share just breathing space with him. So it is Burnout, and we'll chat just after this.
Thank you.